ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Warriors episode 522. Woo! As always, I'm your host, Justin Baker, and as always, I'm joined by Viable Human, Chris Saturn.
You know, we completely forgot to mention it last time, but last episode was the 10th anniversary of our first episode.
Well, I don't want to think about how old we are now, so...
We are pretty old.
Let's just pretend none of that happened, but that does mean our first episode is officially retro now, so...
Yep.
There you go, everyone. We can now cover our own show. Guy's also back. Hi, Guy.
Hi, I'm 43.
Oh my
I'll be
God.
43 very soon.
It's funny because when I talk to Courtney, like we still talk about people in their 50s as like not being old, but like being not our age group.
Yep.
And every now and then I have to mention to her, I'm like, I got some friends that are kind of fast approaching their mid 40s.
Yep.
Early 50s is kind of our age group.
Yeah,
It's
my
kinda
sister's in her
getting there.
early 50s now.
Yeah,
I feel like-
kind of getting there.
In my 30s, I consider 33 to be mid 30s. I don't know that I consider 43 to be mid 40s. I think I'll hold off another year.
Right? Yeah,
think-
I'm ready to put that off.
I think I'm 37 this year, and
Yeah.
I swear 30s have been long. I'm hoping 40s are also pretty long.
Here's hoping.
But we'll see. Anyway, no housekeeping. Guy's still here because we're still recovering from my trip to Virginia, and so we're here for a two-parter. A two-parter.
Recovering from you freebasing American history.
Yeah, for a week in Virginia. It was cool. It was cool. By the end of it, we got to the last day, and I was like, she was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I don't want to see fucking colonial anything. Whatever it is, it better not be colonial. I'm colonialed out." And of course, it was during the historic. I didn't say this. The historic East Coast heat wave. Dead center of that. So we really got the full colonial experience of, oh my God, I wish modern amenities and air conditioning existed.
Yeah.
They did shut down half of Colonial Williamsburg because the heat index got to like 116. And they're like, with the places that don't have AC just have to close, where they can't be open.
You should have gone and played Colonial Laser Tag.
Right? I think that's just throwing rocks.
Oh, right, yeah.
We did have a guy dressed like Benjamin Franklin let us into the governor's palace early because we were so miserably sweaty, just like visibly upset, that he was like,
Well,
you can go in.
I like that the guy that was probably wearing a powdered wig saw how
yeah.
disgusting you were and was like, all right, I need to help you out.
I'll say this: I learned something about myself on the trip.
So,
And I guess it's kind of getting into my week. We show up in under the entire governor. This is the last royal governor's palace, so it's like very fancy.
Yeah.
And there's a huge cellar with like different rooms and like this massive like complex, and it's very like video game dungeon-esque. All the doors have bars on them. I was very excited because I was like, this looks straight up like some Ultima Underworld shit down here. This is amazing.
yeah.
And I learned that I can't be underground. I don't know why.
I was waiting for you to finish that sentence, but no. Okay.
No, emotionally, I can't
All
be
right.
underground. I begin to
Oh.
panic and get very upset and think I'm dying.
Oh, no.
And it was I didn't know that about myself. I don't have a lot of opportunities to go underground.
Yeah, we don't have basements here. We don't have too many underground storm cellars.
So I don't like flying. I don't like open water. I don't like being under the ground. I think I just like being on the flat, regular ground, and that's all I can do.
What
so
about
much for
being-
your bunker plans?
right? What about being in a high rise?
I don't love it, but I just assume
Okay.
everyone kind of hates being up in high rises. It's kind of
That
scary.
doesn't bother me.
Oh.
That doesn't bother me at all. I used to work on like the 40th floor in Dallas.
Yeah, I worked on the
buildings.
27th floor.
I used to go do IT work for some companies freelance, and they were on high floors, and like I didn't love it. Like I wasn't crippling. This was like I was like, oh cool, a cellar. We went down in there, and I went 2 rooms in. My wife and kid are ahead of me, and I was like shaking. I had to be like, I gotta get out of here. It was very. I don't know if it was the vibe. It definitely looked like a fucking
Sucks.
dungeon.
Right. that
So
doesn't
maybe
help.
maybe it was the vibe combined.
Maybe
with
if
being
it was
underground.
well furnished and filled with things
yeah,
that you love.
lit. Also, the ceiling was so low I had to crouch.
Ooh, that doesn't help.
So maybe it was that.
Could have just been some
Maybe it was that.
claustrophobia at that point.
It could have been. It's possible. I was also very on the verge of heat stroke. So I don't know. It could have been a
None of
number of
that's good.
things. But there was a little bit of that was my panic moment on vacation. So I
Yeah.
was under the ground, and then on the way out, I hit my head real hard on the
Oof.
support beam of the entrance.
Ah.
So bad that a nearby lady was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And of course, what I wanted to say was like, "I don't know, I think I have head trauma." But you do the thing where you're like, "Ha ha ha, no, I'm
fine.
totally fine."
Yeah.
And then you get 10 feet away and you're like, "I'm going to fucking die."
Maybe next year you should go to France and visit the catacombs.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds great. I was thinking
speaking-
about all of the D&D dungeons I've ever run, and I'm like, this gives me new context for cramming adventurers under the earth with monsters in unstable cave systems.
Nice.
Um,
Speaking of high rises, when I worked on the 27th floor of a building in Dallas, one time while I was at work, we had there was tornadoes in Dallas, and so they were turning on the tornado. The watch was in effect, not the warning.
Sure, yeah.
And one of my coworkers was like, "Should we go down to the ground floor? Should we go down like right now?" And I had just said it's probably not a big deal because if there was a tornado warning, they might shut off the elevators or something, and that would be a concern. And then the elevators got shut off like instantly after that. I was like, all right, yeah, I guess we should go downstairs.
Let's hoof it.
Yep.
Also, been playing a little bit of FTL. I fired it up while we accidentally got to the airport 3 hours early. Because the bridge to the airport, every time we crossed it on our vacation, was about an hour and a half to 2 hours of traffic, and we anticipated that. We got there in 40 minutes, so
Nice.
we were just way early. And I was looking for something chill and easy to play in the airport, while also being vigilant about my child and luggage at the same time, and FTL was the perfect amount of attention span required.
Nice.
And it's kind of got me back into, in a day I'll sit down and play a run. And I forgot how good FTL is.
Nice.
Such a fun game. Absolutely outstanding game. And I still think I like it more than Into the Breach. Into the Breach is also really good, but FTL has this kind of like chill vibe to it. And
Nice.
I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Also, after hearing about it for so long, I finally installed the Heroic Games launcher.
Yeah, it works really nice. I like it.
I'd never used it before, but I was using GOG Galaxy to download FTL, and I was like, this is such a fucking pain in the ass. Like, GOG Galaxy is just kind of slow and shitty.
Yeah, it's kind of bloated now.
It is. I mean, it's less bloated than Steam, but Steam, for whatever reason, still seems to run pretty damn good. Like, it's doesn't really bog anything down. I rarely feel like I'm sitting around waiting and frustrated at Steam. GOG Galaxy, every time I open it up, I'm like, fucking do something. Just move.
Right.
And Heroic Games Launcher is tiny, it's crazy fast, and it supports basically everything but Steam.
Yeah, and it's got a Linux port that supports Proton, so it'll just install all of your shit for you.
Yep, and as far as I know, I heard about it because people use it on Steam Deck. Apparently, it works really good on Steam Deck, and it's just it's been great. It's sitting here right on my third monitor installing games right now. It's been very nice. So anybody that like me hates third-party launchers, but you want to buy stuff on GOG and DRM free because Steam isn't always DRM free. In fact, it rarely is.
Yeah.
Then I'd highly recommend Heroic Games Launcher. It's got so much better than GOG Galaxy.
Yeah, I use it for my GOG games, and I use it for the handful of free games I got from Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I guess what do I have? I've got EGS and GOG, and then the Amazon Prime stuff on there. So also, I was able to add all of my, because I have on my secondary drive, I've got a big folder of games that are just kind of like repacks of old retro stuff, like Battlefield 2 and Daytona USA and just shit like that. Yeah, and you can add them into Heroic Games Launcher, and they pop up and works nice, and it's good. So highly recommended. What are you been doing, Saturn?
Not much. I talked about my laptop last time, and I honestly have not had much chance to do much else. I had restarted my FF14 subscription just to try to catch up on content, and I haven't. So I've got nothing. I'm gonna pass my time. I was planning on passing it so that you could cover your vacation, but you did. So
I did.
now I'll pass.
Yes.
I'll pass it over to Guy.
Hi, Guy.
Hi. I wrote MTG, and for a second I thought I was talking about not Magic.
A certain politician.
A certain politician, yeah.
Which
certainly
always
not.
I read the news and it's like, MTG says blatant. I'm like, fuck, Magic the Gathering said that?
Who's talking to the Magic the Gathering?
Holy shit, man.
Vera
Lost
said
some
that?
marbles.
I didn't even know cards could get elected to Congress.
What's the newest set? Is it still Final Fantasy? Is it still
It's
the
still
newest
Final
Magic
Fantasy.
thing? Still all
but
in that shit?
last Saturday, not this, Jesus Christ, 10 days ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Went to my first like in-person draft ever. Well, I say ever. I went to a pre-release. We talked about this like a little while ago. I went to a pre-release like 20 years ago, and at the time, pre-releases were draft format instead of sealed.
Yeah.
But then I had no idea what I was doing. I just took red and black cards and tried to make a deck, but I didn't have any idea how to build a deck back then. So
Hey,
anyway,
that's how I do it. That's how I still draft that way. Take random colors that you like and don't know what to do.
yeah. Well, this time we played Bloomborough for the draft, which is all like animal themed, and every different color combination has like a different animal. And so like I noticed at the end, towards the end of my first pack, that I got past like a squirrel, and I was already in green, and trying to decide if I wanted to be black or not. And green black is a squirrel color, so I'm like, okay, great, I'll take the squirrel and blah blah blah. And then like the last pack, I opened my second or third pick. I saw like this like rare squirrel. I was like, oh, this thing's gonna table, and it did, and I got it. I ended up going like 2-1 in the draft, which was pretty cool. Except that like the second round that I played was against this girl who had to have been like somewhere between like 12 and 14, right?
Okay, sure.
Which is cool. Like, I'm glad that she was involved and she was there and she's having a good time, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, oh yeah, you've been playing Magic long? She goes, this is my 5th game against a person ever. And I was like, oh, okay.
Wow. Oh, anyway, prepare to lose.
Right. Yeah. So I felt bad about that, but you know, it's again, I'm glad that young people are coming and showing up, and you know, and it's not all just you know, I don't know,
old white dudes. Just say old white dudes. Just say.
Well, I was trying to be sort of, you know.
That's the vibe. I've been to some Magic events. That was the vibe. I am glad you had a good time, because we had talked about it on the after party, and I was like, yeah, man, I had Magic events were real hit or miss for me.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. The store, my local store here in Parker County seems to be catering to a diverse group of people, and there was she wasn't the only person under the age of 15 there doing a draft, so it was cool from that perspective.
Nice.
Yeah,
cool.
So, yeah, I had a good time. Won a couple of packs and got more out of it than I paid into it. So
what have they serialized in the Final Fantasy segs? I know they do the serialized cards now. What's the like a serialized Buster Sword, or like what is the?
I really don't know. I don't know if they've done one. I know that currently the most expensive cards are Chocobo color variants.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like there's
I fucking hate the idea of serialized cards, but I'm always interested in what they pick. Like there's obvious ones where it's like, oh, Lord of the Rings, you need a serialized one ring. Obviously, it's in, you know.
And Post Malone owns that now.
Oh, does he? I'm sure he paid $1 bajillion for it. So
I think $2 million.
Oh my God.
I think is what he bought it for. He may have sold it since, but I remember that happening.
Holy, for $2 million, I feel like he could buy the actual intellectual property rights to the concept of the One Ring.
I sent y'all the picture of at the game store. They've got like a rack of One Rings.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was good. That made me laugh pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what they serialized, but I know that there's a rare Chocobo, and it comes in different colors. So they got a blue one, a black one, etc. The black one I think is selling for 3,000 on TCG, and the blue one for like 2,000.
Y'all people know it's just cardboard, right? They know that.
I don't.
I guess, but it's cool, like full art cardboard.
Well, I could print one of those. You want me to print you one, guy? I'll print you one. You'll like it. It'll be a good time.
Okay, sure.
I can't say shit. I probably spent more on singles than you have because you play draft. So
that is also true. I've been playing. My kid was Max. He was like, "Hey, can we draft?" I'm like, "Sure, I guess." You're not good at it. I didn't say that, but
yeah, but you suck, noob.
I was like, yeah, here, I came up with an idea. What we're going to do is we're going to open like one pack at a time, and we're going to take turns picking, but we're putting all the cards on the table, and we're going to talk about what is a good pick.
Uh-huh.
And we did that through like 6 packs, and you know, he put together a decent deck. You know, it's not something that I would put together, but that is functional and has a good mana curve and is a good like ratio of creatures to spells and things like that. So
pretty shitty, but I dealt with it.
There's a few like I mean, before draft became draft's pretty standardized now, but back in the day, like when the game was introduced, there was like 10 different variants of draft, and some of them are built for 2 players, and they're way more fun than regular drafting. So you might look into, I think it's called a Solomon draft.
Mm-hmm.
There's also one where the cards go into piles on the table, and you have to pick from the piles. And so the reject piles keep getting bigger and bigger, so the value is slowly growing. That's really interesting. There's also grid draft where you just lay everything out in a big fucking grid and you see what everyone is picking, which is also pretty fun. I like that one.
Yeah. I think the reason that I wanted to go with sort of like an open like teaching draft, well, A was for teaching purposes, but also it seemed like we were playing out of his box that I bought him for his birthday, so I wanted him to be able to decide how many packs he wanted to open at that time, right? Yeah. Like I didn't want him to like burn through like 18 packs and be like, well, that's just how you draft, you know?
Yeah, you're like, no, that's not. Yeah. Let's do some news. I'm sure we won't talk about trading cards anymore this episode.
Okay, not
positive that will happen.
Definitely not.
I haven't read ahead.
Yeah.
First up, Microsoft has ported edit.com, the MS-DOS 5.0 text editor, to Linux for some reason. Can't fucking keep employees at Xbox, but we're going to port edit.com to Linux.
Yeah.
That's nice. Thanks, Microsoft.
I do love that news, though.
It's fun, but...
Yeah, it's fun and stupid, but still fuck Microsoft.
Hey, but you know what? There's no Copilot in it, so there you go. In a recent interview, Nobuo Uematsu said the atmosphere, quote, collapsed at Square following the departure of Final Fantasy series creator Hironobu Sakaguchi, and it took years to recover.
I can see that based on the games that came out around that time.
I think Saturn might argue that it did not recover.
No, it did, just not and anywhere near it. It definitely recovered, but they're not making the same kind of games as they used to.
Right. There you go. A development build of Brickcraft, a canceled collaboration between Mojang and Lego, has been leaked, which is just the game that makes the most sense in the history of time.
Right, yeah. It's the chocolate and peanut butter of video games.
Right, there you go. The Trails trading card game is getting an international release by TCG Co. I looked at this, and it looks like your standard trading card game. So it'll be cool to see how it does in the States.
Yeah, there's some neat art of various Trails characters we've already seen now. So
yeah, so it looks interesting. I'm interested. You know,
I don't know anything about trading card games, so I'll accept the two of your opinion of it whenever it happens.
I'll go pre-order 4 boxes. It's fine.
We'll see.
Knowing
we'll see what happens.
Koshiro, the writer of these games, I would not at all be surprised to learn that there is some exclusive canon lore on these cards. So I might have to have somebody read them to me someday.
Yeah. Arc System Works and Taito have announced Bubble Bobble Sugar Dungeons, a roguelite Bubble Bobble game, which I'm just fucking here for.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm definitely willing to give it a shot. A randomly generated Bubble Bobble dungeon with cross run progression. That's the weirdest phrase I've ever said out loud.
Look, everything's got to be a Metroidvania like Pac-Man. Everything's got to be a roguelite like Bubble Bobble, you know.
Yeah.
It is going to be weird. There's going to be a generation of kids that grow up with Pac-Man being a search action mascot and Bub and Bob being
search action game,
being roguelite mascots. So weird. PlayStation has been sued in the European Union for inflated store prices and monopolistic practices of the PSN Digital Store. Shocking.
Good.
Literally nobody is shocked.
Right.
Just frustrated it hasn't happened sooner.
Yeah, right.
Amico, we're still talking about this, I guess, has announced more of their games are getting Switch and Steam releases because they sure as fuck can't come out on the Amico because it doesn't exist.
And may never exist, but they insist that it will someday exist.
It has been a fucking ride following the Amico. I mean, and just as soon as you think it's over, they pop back up and some weird shit happens.
I was trying to see if they even have the rights to use the name Intellivision anymore. I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Because Atari bought Intellivision a few months ago, And so maybe Atari is licensing it back to them for the hardware if it ever releases.
Mhm.
But I would not at all be surprised to see it someday release without even having the Intellivision name on it.
I think it ends up, if it does release, it's going to be Atari VCS style, where it's like, all right, here it is to satisfy the people that pre-order. You can buy a couple of them. There's a few extra. We're done. We're moving on. Now we're making crypto coins or casinos or whatever the fuck we're doing now.
Oddly, Atari has been somewhat supporting the VCS and similar hardware.
Oh, really?
It seems like Atari is moving more back into video games than they are crypto and casinos.
They have been making good moves in the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
we'll see how long it never lasts long with Atari.
Nope.
Nintendo is raising the price of Switch 1 consoles in Canada. Oh, I don't want to buy the Switch 2. Well, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's upsetting.
And there was an interview with what's his name, the new president of Nintendo,
Furukawa.
Furukawa, where he had said something along the lines of, well, we have other options for people who can't afford the Switch 2. And I think he was trying to imply their mobile games, because clearly he doesn't mean the Switch 1 since they're raising the price on that.
This is absurd. One, it's ancient tech. There's no fucking way you're not making money on Switch 1 sales, even if taxes or tariffs or whatever is making it more expensive in Canada. Even if that's happening, there's just no reality in which you're not still making money. You're just not making enough money on it.
And even if you're making the tiniest loss on the Switch hardware, you're making all the money on the licensing of every single game sold on the system.
It's just frustrating to see. Like it's not a big price bump. It's only in Canada, but it's
only in Canada
sign
so
of
far.
the times. Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
Following that up, massive layoffs at Microsoft's Xbox division, estimated just under 10,000 employees.
God.
10,000 employees laid off at Xbox, specifically the Xbox division. This isn't Microsoft as a whole.
Right.
Multiple projects canceled. John Romero's studio got hit. Their projects are canceled. Perfect Dark remake was canceled.
And Romero's studio wasn't even owned by Microsoft. They just had some contracts with Microsoft, and all their games got canceled to the point where they're worried they're going to have to just shut down because of it.
So this is one of the larger single blows to video gaming as a medium that we've seen in a while.
And we knew this was coming after the Activision merger got finalized. We knew there would be some layoffs, so I assumed it would be mostly in redundant fields like HR or corporate-y shit. But no, they're just cutting the entire company, and not even just the Activision stuff either. Just all kinds of. It's just a bloodbath over there right now.
It is. It's tough to see. It's frustrating. A lot of people are calling this, the death knell of Xbox as a brand, especially pairing up with the announcements of the new Xbox handheld, which is just a Windows machine, and the new Meta Quest 3S that is just a Meta Quest. So I real bad vibes coming out of Microsoft and Xbox right now.
And I think somebody had said that, like, of all the games that they had first announced for Series X when it was launched, several of them just got canceled. So it turns out that many of those games announced for the system will never happen.
Thanks,
well,
Microsoft.
I mean, if everything's an Xbox, then everybody's an Xbox employee already.
True,
so can you really get laid off?
That's
if everything's an Xbox, I'm an Xbox, which means anything I do is an Xbox exclusive software title.
That's true. That's a good point.
This show is an Xbox exclusive.
That's true.
So
that's why you can only listen to it on your Zune.
Every time we make the joke, I think about Cookie Clicker, and it's like, turn every atom in the universe into cookies. And I'm like, every atom in the universe is Xbox.
Well, you can play Cookie Clicker on Xbox now.
Yeah, right. Well, of course you can, because everything is
an Xbox.
Yeah,
but also it did get an Xbox port.
Sega's current president claims he wants his legacy to be the company's revival. Couple things. First of all, we've heard that one before from Sega presidents.
Yes.
More than once. Second of all, revival from what? Is Sega in trouble and we just didn't know it? Or like, what does it mean? What does this mean?
I thought Sega was doing pretty all right. Got a lot of good games out there. Got Persona. Got Like a Dragon.
Okay. They seem to be fucking fine. I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah. What? Are you wanting to re-enter the hardware industry? Because no, don't do that.
Makes me think of that Office scene where Michael declares bankruptcy and he just shouts, "I declare bankruptcy" in the middle of the office. Like, this is what this feels. This has those vibes.
We are revived.
I mean, like the Stars got like a new head coach this week, and they were asking him about like his like system or whatever for playing hockey, and he's like, "Well, I mean, y'all ask that to everybody, and everybody always says, well, we're going to play hard, we're going to play tough, like as opposed to what we're going to play."
Yeah, what are our other options? We're going to go out there and slack off and not really try at all. I think is
Right.
We're just going to waste franchise time and money is what we're at.
I'm gonna see how much one guy can masturbate on the rink.
I'm going to hide a bunch of pucks in my pockets and throw them out to confuse the other team. Like, what's your fucking plan?
What's your plan for the team? Pocket sand?
Yeah, pocket sand. No. I was randomly watching King of the Hill, and my daughter sat down and saw the pocket sand scene, and I intentionally said nothing just to see if it was still objectively funny to everyone, and she laughed, so it is.
That's good.
Perfect comedy.
That's good.
Perfect
I mean, I
comedy.
started watching King of the Hill with the kids. It's great.
It's
Nice.
so good.
I just put it all on my Plex server the other day.
Oh, good. I can watch it there. I was like, I need to get a copy of King of the Hill. I'll just watch it on Saturn's Plex server.
There you go. Perfect.
Nintendo is being sued in Brazil for pledging to brick consoles of accused pirates because of course you're going to get fucking sued for that.
Yeah.
You assholes.
Well,
You
the thing is,
assholes.
it's completely legal in most countries. In
Sure,
Brazil,
yeah.
there are strict laws against it.
Right. And we have
So-
someone in Brazil in our Discord, and they're like, look, Brazil's got a lot of problems, but at least, this isn't one of them. And I got to agree, like, there's something they're doing right. Like,
My
They're
my
not gonna-
fear
they're-
is that
ahead.
Nintendo's going to see this and they're going to say, well, the solution is we're just going to pull out of Brazil again.
yeah, that is the concern. That is
Yeah.
the concern. Charles Entertainment Cheese has announced Chuck's Arcade, a new chain of arcades for adults who grew up with Chuck E. Cheese, which just
I am.
sounds like Chuck E. Cheese.
So it is kind of a Chuck E. Cheese, but one, it has less kid-oriented games, more adult-oriented games. Two, it's supposed to have a better menu for adults, as well as more emphasis on drinks. So it's more original Chuck E. Cheese,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
nothing at all like
80s.
current Chuck E. Cheese.
For
Yeah.
people unaware, Charles Entertainment Cheese was originally an adult entertainer that worked at
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese, and it was like they sold beer, and you could. I was gonna say
Yeah.
you could smoke in there, but you could smoke in everywhere back then.
Right.
You could
Yeah, it was
smoke in fucking like nurseries if you wanted to.
He was a sleazy rat with a cigar. I mean, that
Yeah.
was his whole shtick.
So, I'll say this. I love the idea. We were just talking recently. Was that on pre-show or was
That
that
was pre-show the last
pre-show?
episode, yeah.
Where we were talking about how they're, it's hard to find good third places where you can just kind of like
Yeah.
take the kids and hang out and enjoy yourself. And like, I'm all for the idea of reviving an arcade. I have a
Yeah.
feeling it's going to be overpriced drinks, bad food, and Fruit
Probably.
Ninja arcade video games. That's what I'm
Well,
anticipating.
there's 4 of them already open,
Mhm.
and the reviews of the arcade seem relatively positive so far.
Good.
I do like that the logo for it, they brought back the original design of Chuck E. Cheese and not the weird CG abomination they use now.
Yeah. I don't know if you
So-
know this. There's no. At least the last couple times I've been, there's no guy in a suit dressed as
No,
Chuck E. Cheese
none of that.
anymore.
There are 9 locations, sir.
Oh, is
my
it
God.
9 now? Oh, nice.
Do
I
they
knew
call
had
it?
done a couple already.
What do they call? Is it got a different? It's just called Chuck's Arcade. That's the new.
Chuck's
name.
Yeah,
Arcade.
Chuck's Arcade, yeah.
The Stop Killing Games petition has reached over 1 million signatures before its deadline. Someone's asking why we didn't talk about this on the show. It's right up our alley. It's very much not a North American
Right, yeah.
oriented thing. It's a European oriented thing. And while I fully
Right.
support that,
Absolutely.
I want an American version too because
True.
we're also getting fucked over
Yeah.
here.
It won't happen because our legislation works differently and we have different kinds of legislative bodies. But I do obviously support this initiative.
Yes.
It's just I didn't want to, weigh in on it that much because it's not. It
Yeah.
doesn't affect us and we don't have any impact on it. because
Yeah.
we
Also,
can't-
some of
can't vote
the
on it.
legal parts of it and ramifications I don't fully understand because European stuff is just different.
Sure.
But absolutely, if you are in a position to be able to meaningfully support Stop Killing Games, please do so.
Yeah, definitely.
If you have the ability to, or are going to already be writing your representation, which we should all be doing anyway in
Sure,
America.
right.
Maybe
About a
throw
lot
it
of
in.
things.
Maybe throw it in there.
Yeah.
Maybe mention, hey, have you seen the Stop Killing Games thing? I would love for something like that to be in my jurisdiction.
Yeah.
It's. I know it's small fry in
Right.
the realm of broad spectrum worldwide economic and political goings on. There's a
right.
lot of shit happening.
Yeah.
But we can care about more than one thing at once. You
Right.
know, we can care about the big important stuff, the wars and the disasters, and also about preserving
media
video
preservation.
game history. Yeah, it's not exclusive. You know, you can
Right.
care about multiple things.
No,
Anyway,
you can.
I can't. I have the ability to care about more than one thing. Finally, 8BitDo has announced that several of their controllers are now officially certified compatible with Steam and SteamOS. There's been some weirdness with SteamOS and some of their controllers. Most of them work. They just show up as whatever
Generic
console
Xbox
they're
controller.
set up as. So it's nice to see proper full Steam OS integration. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see if it'll show a little tiny diagram of the 8BitDo Ultimate now.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
that'll be
a little
neat.
cute little diagram.
Right.
Which brings us to our topic at hand, which is The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky StarCraft Part 2.
Yay.
Yay. Synopsis is
Like
2
real
seconds.
StarCraft Part 2, this will be split into 3 separate games.
Right, obviously. Synopsis is 2 second, 2 chapter, as is tradition for all sequels on this show.
You know, it occurs to me that joke is like 20 years old now.
I don't know that anyone even gets it. How many young people listening to video game podcasts know about Too Fast, Too Furious?
I just remember that was the dumbest name for a movie that ever happened ever, and I've not let it die since then because it's just such a stupid name.
It's okay. It's the worst Fast and Furious movie, and that's really saying something. So
22 years ago is when that movie came out.
Guy, will you back me up that Too Fast, Too Furious is the worst Fast and Furious movie?
Yes.
Thank you. I feel
I've watched
validated.
none of them.
I was debating Tokyo Drift.
Whoa! Tokyo Drift is a beloved Fast and Furious movie.
I guess.
What?
I
Come
thought
on.
Vin Diesel was in those.
Vin Diesel is not in Tokyo Drift.
No, he's not in
He's
Tokyo
not.
Drift. So
He's not in Too
no.
Fast, Too Furious either.
Oh, that is also true. He is not in that one.
I thought he was there in like a flashback or something. Well, I guess that wouldn't count as
maybe.
being.
No,
He's
he's
just
in
not
the-
listed as starring.
He is in a bonus scene at the end or whatever of
Okay.
Tokyo Drift.
Okay. Look, we're not going to talk about Fast and Furious. Okay, I'm going to let y'all take it away. This is the story section. I do have a question before we begin.
Sir, yes.
During the first episode, I was like, hey, I'm really good at abandoning ideas. So I purchased the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel on GOG while y'all were recording because y'all were both like, that's what got us into the franchise, made us care about it. So I was like, well, maybe that'll be the one for me, you know? Because sometimes you just need that entry point. Like I didn't love Yakuza till I played Kiwami. You know, that was my entry point. And so I'm downloading that. Knowing the story of what we're about to cover, how fucked is that going to make me for Cold Steel?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Zero.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Anyone else? As a reminder, the remake of Trails in the Sky Part 1 is coming out very soon if you're planning to play that. This is absolutely going to spoil everything.
Yeah, we're going to ruin all of that. So
Entirely all of the story tension
you're-
will be eradicated from your experience.
Yeah, so the upcoming remake, which is called Trails in the Sky First Chapter, it's made using the game engine of Trails Through Daybreak. It comes out on Switch and PS5 and PC this September, so September of 2025. We're going to spoil that whole story in the first few minutes here. So if you plan on playing that, don't listen to this. Go do something else.
If I was thinking about playing that remake and I wanted to tune out for a chunk of this, when should I tune back in?
The end.
5 minutes left when you make your awful transition.
Oh, fuck. Well, maybe I'll forget it by September. Maybe I'll just forget it all.
Yeah.
That'd be fine. It's months from now.
I mean,
and I'm
there's so much,
bad
and
memory.
you always push shit out of your brain anyway. So
Yeah, and
This is
also
true.
you may not end up even bothering to play it for months after it comes out anyway, because it might end up being a $70 game. So
That's true. And I've also got Cold Steel 1 and 2 in my GOG library downloading right now. And so that's, what are those each? 700-800 hours each? So I gotta,
like 70-ish hours each, give or take.
holy fucking shit. What have I gotten myself into? I mean, I want to quit already.
They have fast forward options built in.
That's good.
And
That's
they
how
have-
I got to 70 hours. Otherwise, it probably would have been longer.
and they have auto advance and full voice
They do.
acting, so you
I'm
can
excited
watch it like an
about that
anime.
stuff. Not excited about the school setting, but we're not here to talk about that. Legend of Heroes, tits suck, I think is what we've decided.
Yeah.
The short version is, go ahead and take it away.
So yeah, again, story episode, very spoiler heavy, and it is a direct sequel to the first game. So we're going to spoil all that right now. I'm Guy, if it's all right with you, I'm just going to try to barrel through the first game's recap just so that we can get it out of the way. And I'm going to try to be as fast as I can because this is a giant amount of text.
No,
Is
I'm
that all
going
right
to
with
need you
you?
to tell me about the internal politics of each and every town that you
Okay,
visit in
let's-
the first game.
All right, let's talk about the interaction between LeBurl and Crossbell real
Oh
quick.
my God! This is how
I
sad it
meant,
feels
like-
when he plays
I meant
fishing
like
mini
between
games.
like Roland and
Oh,
fucking
yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the mayoral election in Bose real quick.
Oh my God!
Yes, please do fire through the story.
All right. Yeah. So this is in brief the first game. Just to recap. So first game is about Estelle Bright. She is the daughter of Cassius Bright, who is a former general of the Liberal Army, and he is also a prestigious member of the Bracer Guild. And the Bracer Guild is an international group of bounty hunters or mercenaries or something like that who aim to keep the peace and help individuals. The guild officially claims neutrality in military and political issues, but often gets hired by various world governments for odd jobs and stuff. During a mission for the Bracer Guild, Cassius finds a young boy named Joshua on the battlefield and chooses to adopt him. He raises him alongside his daughter. And when they
Much
come
like
of age...
the cat distribution system.
Right, yeah, that's how cats get distributed. It's also how you find boys to adopt.
Yeah,
They just show up.
orphan boys in the
Yeah.
middle of battlefields happens all
Right.
the time.
Yeah,
Happens all the time.
totally normal things. When they come of age, Estelle and Joshua opt to join the Bracer Guild in Cassius's footsteps, and on that same day, Cassius is called away for a Bracer job. Estelle and Joshua then travel across Liberl to various Bracer Guild offices looking for work and to advance their Bracer careers. Along the way, they learn that Cassius is missing, so they look into his whereabouts. This leads them all over Liberl, where they meet a lot of various characters. The characters that join you that they meet are Charizard Harvey, who is
Charizard.
Charizard Harvey, who is Cassius's protege at the Bracer Guild and Estelle and Joshua's mentor. You meet Olivier Lindheim, who is a lecherous bard from the hostile neighboring Erebonian Empire. Agate Krosner, I always want to call him Agate or something, but they have decided it's Agate in the games where it is voice acted. Agate Krosner is the hot-headed senior bracer that they meet. Chloe Renz, who is a friendly schoolgirl who you later learn is Princess Claudia of Liberl. Tita Russell is the granddaughter of the famed Liberlan engineer Albert Russell. Zen Vathic is a mild-mannered senior bracer from the Republic of Calvard. And Alba, who is an absent-minded professor who is investigating the ruins across Liberl. And as you tour the country, you take on bracer jobs, help local communities, and a couple of jobs place them at odds with a small-time criminal group called the Capua family, who feel like joke throwaway characters throughout the first game. And then near the end of their journey, they learn of a military coup against Queen Alicia, which is being headed by Colonel Richard of the Liberal Army. You confront Richard, but Cassius appears at the last second to save the day. And then there's a celebration to celebrate that the coup is stopped, and also the Queen's birthday or something. I don't remember. And during that celebration, Estelle steps away for a minute, and Joshua is approached by absent-minded Professor Alba, who uses a trigger word to wake up Joshua and remind him of his mission, because Alba is actually George Weissman, the third Anguis of a shadowy organization known as Ouroboros, and Joshua was trained as a covert assassin as a young child and was an enforcer of Ouroboros and was tasked with killing Cassius Bright. But when he failed to kill Cassius in battle, Cassius felt sorry for him and adopted him. And then Joshua reluctantly agreed to being adopted because he couldn't fight back. And he pledged to leave Cassius and his family if his past ever came back to haunt him. Weissman learned of all this and then gave Joshua hypnotic orders to spy on Cassius and report any and all information about his life back to Ouroboros. And then when later Estelle realizes she had formed romantic feelings for Joshua, she confesses, he slips her a sleeping pill and runs away, unable to cope with the guilt of having unknowingly betrayed her and her father. So that's the first game. Did I miss anything important, you think?
No, that's great. Let's get out of here. This is it. This is all of it.
Yeah. All right.
No, that was fantastic. I had a joke in there, but I forgot it already.
Oh,
so.
shit. My bad.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I was just trying to barrel through it so we can actually get to the topic at hand, which is the second.
Oh yeah, no, it was Charizard Harvey. Sounds like a
Yeah.
Pokemon trainer.
It is a Pokemon trainer. It's definitely a Pokemon trainer.
Well, I know that the joke is that it's Charizard. It's just like
Right.
it seems like you fucking run into like a Team Rocket member named Charizard Harvey, and he only
He's the
collects
master of the
Charizards.
Charizards. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like
That would
40
be
of
the
them.
easiest fight in the world.
Oh no, Charizard. Now I'll summon Charizard.
Oh, look, a wild
Okay.
Charizard. I guess that
Still
goes to fucking
Squirtle, then I
Charizard
guess. I
Harvey.
don't.
All right, Squirrel, hang out. You're not going anywhere yet. All right, so the second game, Estelle wakes up from her sleeping pill the following day to learn that Joshua's gone. And distraught, she flees the celebration to go find Joshua. And she takes an airship back to her hometown thinking that he'll go there to get his stuff or whatever. And she meets Kevin Graham, who is the traveling priest of the Septian Church, and he is visiting Liberl for some reason. And he attempts to calm her down and flirt with her because he's kind of a lecherous priest. And when the airship
A lot of
lands, we
lechery
learn
going on in this universe.
there's a lot of lechery in this world. It's Japan. Let's be fair.
There you go. There you go.
So the airship lands. We learn that Cassius had actually hired Kevin to look after her and make sure she didn't do anything harmful, which Cassius has a lot of contacts. He's got a lot of connections in the world. Really, he ends up being the solution to almost all problems in these games. They just magic Cassius some connections, and he just solves it. So she's unable to find Joshua. She vows to stop Ouroboros in hopes that confronting Ouroboros will mean that she reunites with Joshua. Cassius agrees that she can do that, and as a senior bracer, he already knows all about Ouroboros. So he sends her to a bracer training camp in another country for training. And then we get some side scenes where we learn about Ouroboros' structure. You've got an unnamed Grandmaster who rules things from the shadows, who has 7 High Anguis who report to her, including Weissman, who is the 3rd Anguis. And the Anguis all independently operate in pursuit of the Grandmaster's plans. And the Anguis may or may not even know who the Grandmaster is. We don't know. They interact indirectly via a jester named Campanella, who is possibly the evil one. I'm not sure. They never establish it. And it's implied that the first Anguis can interact with the Grandmaster, but maybe not the rest of them. And then there's also a group of assassins or soldiers or point men called Enforcers that do the bidding of the Anguis on behalf of the Grandmaster, but the Enforcers have full agency and can choose to reject any job or task, but are expected to assist the organization when possible. It's a very strange structure for an evil organization.
Yeah, so those last people, do they answer to the anuses, or do they don't have to?
They don't have to, but they can.
Okay.
They'd get their orders from them, but they're also allowed to just say no to any of the orders.
I see.
So it's a very loose evil organization.
Mhm.
Yeah, that kind of
Very
comes
structured.
up towards the end of the story here.
Right. And then constantly throughout all of the other games.
You know, one of those loosely structured
Yeah.
evil organizations.
Yes.
Well, it's like
It feels
Squid Game. They care about agency.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like there's more structure at the top, and as you get further to the bottom, they're like, I don't care what you guys do. Yeah, do what you want.
So much so that there's a character in the 3rd game who is part of the group,
Yeah.
but he's awful at it. It's
Yeah.
amazing. He's
He's
my
badass.
favorite character so far.
So,
Wow.
Getting into chapter 1.
I'm sorry, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Did you just say getting into chapter 1?
Yeah, that was the prologue
That was
chapter.
the prologue.
It's 11:30 at night.
Yep.
Oh my
I'm gonna try to do
god.
this quick.
What have I done?
Yep. So Estelle gets back to Liberl after her time at her bracer training camp. She reunites with some friends from the first game, and she starts to investigate Ouroboros and do bracer work. Along the way, she meets a family of merchants from Crossbell and their 11-year-old daughter, Ren. Conversation ends in Ren forcing Estelle to promise to play with her if they meet up again. Certainly that'll have no impact on the plot.
Of course not.
Estelle and her friends investigate some reports of ghosts near a local orphanage, and they follow the trail, and Estelle meets the phantom thief Blue Blanc, who has been manipulating these ghosts, creating the ghosts. I don't remember exactly. He is responsible for the ghosts, is what's important, and he is Enforcer 10 of Ouroboros. He is also the phantom thief that shows up in side quests in literally every game in the series.
Yeah,
And after-
if I remember right, he is able to project them, and they are figures of
Right.
himself.
Yeah,
floating
yeah,
around.
that's right. Yeah. They were all Blue Blancs, and he was using the gospel to create them or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he waxed philosophical on him for a while, and then he sticks a robot on it, and everybody, and you fight a robot, and that's
Classic.
chapter 1.
That old chestnut.
Yep.
I
Then,
like him. Like Saturn says, he
Blueball's
shows up
great.
in like every game. I
Yeah,
assume
basically
every game.
He's
Every
the
game that I've
Tuxedo
played, he's
Mask
in.
of the Trails universe.
He is basically Tuxedo Mask. Yes,
Yeah.
he dresses like it too.
Oh,
He's
there you
like
go.
so extra too, man. Like you'll run into him
Yes.
in Cold Steel if you play it, and
Yeah.
it's just immediately it's like super extra.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great.
I don't know
He
anything
is
about
ridiculous.
people that are extra, so this will be totally foreign and new to me.
Yeah, he's he is often comic relief despite being one of the bad guys, and I'm there for it. It's great. So, chapter 2, Estelle returns to Tita's hometown of Zeiss to learn about unnatural earthquakes in the region, and upon investigation, she discovers that the earthquakes are caused by a machine controlled by Valter, who is Enforcer 8 of Ouroboros, who quickly kicks the shit out of our group. Which is supposed to kind of teach us how strong the Enforcers are in general, because most of them can kick the shit out of you immediately.
But they can also choose to not do that.
Yeah, sometimes they just decide not to, like Blue Bonk didn't want to. He was like, here, have a robot. See you guys. Chapter 3 is a political gathering at the Capitol with representatives from many neighboring countries discussing a non-aggression pact. For people who haven't played the series, there's a lot of politics in the series. There's a lot of inter-nation politics, and they get pretty deep into it, and each arc is in a different nation, so you see different nations' perspective of it too. So it's a thing. There are some side sequences where we learn that Joshua has teamed up with the Capuas, the goofy criminal family from the first game, in exchange for providing transportation to get him closer to Ouroboros to enact his revenge. And while that's going on, Estelle, who is now joined by Tita, who is the little girl from the first game, and the two of them find Ren again, and Ren quickly befriends Tita and Estelle. They play some hide and seek. Ren says that a boy with dark hair gave her a letter to give to Estelle, which Estelle assumes means Joshua. And the letter is from Joshua, and it requests that she meet him at a specific location at a specific time. And when she gets there, she instead meets Father Kevin, who also received a letter from someone telling him to meet them there. And so they realize that this was a setup, and they return to the Capitol, only to find that Estelle's party is unconscious and a royal family member has been abducted, along with Ren. And when they meet the supposed kidnapper, the royal is saved, but neither he nor the kidnapper have any idea who Ren is. They don't know who this girl is or that she was kidnapped. But then they hear Ren laughing in the distance, and they look up to see this little girl on top of a building, and she pulls out a scythe and reveals that she is Enforcer 15 of Ouroboros. And then Ren destroys the dolls that she previously said were her parents and summons a giant robot to carry herself away. The robot is her father and also her mother, and she calls it Potter Mater.
This got real Full Metal Alchemist really, really fucking fast.
Yes.
I pronounced that Pater Mater.
It could be Pater Mater. I'm not sure. Actually, I think they pronounced it in one of the games, and either it's either in Crossbell or later you hear someone refer to the robot. But either way, doesn't matter.
I like Pater Mater better.
Yeah, Pater Mater sounds like
Larry the Cable
Forgotten
Guy's character in
from-
Cars.
from the Cars universe.
Yeah.
It's Larry the Cable Guy's great grandfather truck from
Yeah.
Cars 5 or whatever.
It's my grandpa Pater Mater.
Oh, it's too good.
So Kevin, the priest guy who has been helping you so far, he reveals that he is a member of the Gralsritter, which is another organization that they are now introducing into the story for you to learn about, which is a sect of knights of the Septian Church, which is the main religion in the land.
Do you keep notes while you're playing these games, or is it
I
like
did
you
write
just-
some notes while I was playing these games. Yes, I did have to write some notes down because there's a lot of organizations to keep track of.
My wife reads a lot, and she has a book journal. So as she reads a book, she writes notes of all the names of all the characters, organizations they belong to, blah 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 blah. and
Yeah.
I imagine
All
you
that
kinda
would be
need
useful
that.
here. Yeah. All that is a useful skill to have.
Nope, I just
so-
assume it's going to stick in my brain.
Oh, you just raw dog all this information.
Yeah. You want me to take notes while I'm playing a game? Like that.
Sometimes I'll cross-reference a wiki, but then there's the risk of spoilage.
Yeah.
So the Gralsritter is a sect of knights. They are assigned with finding holy artifacts, and to prevent their misuse, these artifacts are holy things that basically have godlike powers that people occasionally find. They had mentioned one in the first game, but it was kind of like, oh wow, that's a scary thing anyway. And then they moved on with the story. And here it's making it more important than the story. He tells us that he's currently in Liberl investigating Ouroboros and their plans to utilize an artifact for some nefarious means. But he doesn't go into depth because it's all classified church secrets. In Chapter 4, they're traveling across the country via airship. The team hits some heavy fog and is forced to set down in the first town of Roland. When they do, the locals explain that they keep hearing a strange bell, and when you're investigating it, you discover that the mist and the bell are both caused by Luciola, who is, of course, another enforcer of Ouroboros. She's also the woman who took in Shara as an orphan child and raised her before she then left and joined the Bracer Guild. And Luciola leaves, but explains that the mist and the coma-like state of some of the locals and the strange dreams that people in the area were having were the result of an artifact called the Gospel, and she explains the Gospel as this artifact that all of the Ouroboros people have been using and has been causing all of these weird things that have been happening so far throughout the game.
This all just makes a lot of sense.
Look, none of it's supposed to make sense, Justin. It's just
Well, I
supposed to
mean,
keep
granted, we're
going.
condensing it all into,
Right.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Less than 2 hours.
Yeah, my goal is to condense this as much as possible, and unfortunately, that makes it sound even more absurd than it already is,
Yeah, it does. I agree.
which it is absurd.
Yeah, when it plays out over the course of 100 hours, it
Right.
sort of seems
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Over
it makes a
9
little more
months, I can
sense.
see slow rolling this insanity, but
Right. But when
Holy
you condense it,
cow.
you realize just how much absurdity is involved here.
maybe that's why I bounced off the first game, because
Hmm.
I got 100 hours of JRPG insanity condensed into one episode, and then I went in and it's like, nah, man, you're gonna be here for a fucking minute.
Yeah, we got to explain how flowers work first. So, all right, going to Chapter 5, it starts with a side scene. We see Weissman, the bad guy, use a gospel to wake up a sleeping dragon, because now there are dragons.
Mm-hmm.
But meanwhile, Estelle and her party are trying to find any signs of further Ouroboros activity when a guy shows up riding said dragon, and he destroys a local market. He identifies himself as Leonhart, who is enforcer number 2 of Ouroboros, the second strongest enforcer. But everybody calls him Luve. Also, his dragon has a gospel affixed to its forehead. And then the party tries to take out Luve, but he kicks the shit out of them. Also, the dragon kicks the shit out of them. And then they team up with the Royal Navy in their airships to try to fight back against the dragon and Luve. And then Agate shows up with a new sword that can break gospels. He shatters the gospel on the dragon. The dragon regains control of its senses and thanks the party and can speak English now. The dragon helps to pay for the damages it caused, because the dragon also has a lot of money.
I deal with dragons regularly in my weekly life, and none of this is what dragons are like.
This is totally what dragons are like, Justin.
Just putting it out there.
The dragon's
I
name is
feel like-
Ragnard.
I feel like this is pretty consistent with the dragons that I've run into with you. To be fair,
I guess that's true. I made one of them demanded payment in the form of stories.
right?
I guess
So-
that tracks a little bit.
So our dragon here, his name is Ragnard. And
All right.
he
What you
explains.
call me?
Yeah.
You can't say that anymore, Saturn.
He explains that Weissman was controlling him with the gospel, which I think we all figured out pretty quickly when he immediately broke control when the gospel was broken. And he says that Luve was explicitly trying to prevent him from causing too much damage when he was under control of the gospel, which implies that maybe Luve isn't as bad of a guy as we're led to believe. Dragon also reveals that he's good friends with Cassius, because sure, that makes sense. And Agate stops in a local town to visit his sister's grave, and he finds Luve there. And then the two of them share stories about losing people. And then rather than trying to fight Louvet or stop him from doing evil Ouroboros stuff. They're just like, well, thanks for catching up with us and sorry about your lost loved ones. And he's like, yeah, sorry about your lost loved ones. And he leaves and everything's fine. Because that's how antagonists work.
Yes.
And then we move on to chapter 6. Team encounters a fellow bracer who's badly injured after escaping Ouroboros' local base, but that tells them where Ouroboros' local base is. So the team goes to raid the base and is immediately ambushed in a trap. Estelle is abducted by Weissman. The rest of the team manage to escape. Estelle wakes up on Ouroboros' airship, where she gets to share a tea party with Ren. And then Ren escorts her to meet all of the other the other enforcers who are all, totally cool with her being there and just chat with her like, normal people, because that's how antagonists work.
Yeah, when sometimes you just want to take a break from the terrible war going on and just chill and have tea with the enemy.
Yeah. And
it's a normal thing.
And then she gets to meet with Weissman, who tries to gives her an offer. He says you can either join Ouroboros as an enforcer candidate, which will incentivize Joshua to come back so that she can be with Joshua, or you can not join Ouroboros and we're going to try to kill the shit out of you. And she refuses, and but they don't immediately try to kill the shit out of her. Later, Louvet explains...
She gets a running head start.
Right. Well, she gets put back in her cell. So,
all right.
Louvet explains to her his and Joshua's backstory. Louvet was in love with Joshua's older sister, and their hometown was attacked by mercenaries, and everybody was killed, except for Louvet and Joshua, who were protected by Joshua's older sister, who was killed by the mercenaries. And then Ouroboros showed up and was like, you want us to recruit you guys and teach you how to be super strong assassins that can get revenge? And they're like, yeah, all right, cool. And so that's how they joined Ouroboros as children.
Casual children assassin training. This is all
right.
This is
that's
all
what they do.
Standard stuff. That's what Batman does.
Yeah. He just brings in young children and trains them to be the new Robin.
Yeah, he's on his fourth Robin at this point.
Yeah, at least this week.
Look, at least he's not discerning. One of them was his own kid. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, whatever, dude.
That's like, whatever. You're a new Robin now.
Although, to be fair, the kid one came pre-ninja'd. He was already ninja assassin dude.
Already ninja'd out.
So, you know how it goes.
Yeah, naturally. So Weissman and most of the other enforcers leave the ship to carry out more of their evil, nefarious bad guy stuff. And Estelle manages to escape her room. And she's quickly outnumbered and surrounded by Ouroboros soldiers and robots. And then Joshua shows up and saves her. Louvet confronts them and tries to convince Joshua to stay, but they escape on an escape pod because airships have escape pods, which I guess makes sense that they would have escape pods.
Yeah.
Sure. Whatever.
Okay.
I mean,
you can have a pod and you can try to escape in it. Like, that's easy enough.
It's like a life raft in a regular boat, but it's in the air.
When you said Joshua appears, for whatever reason, immediately like Proto Man popped into my head.
Yeah, he basically Proto Man's in. On their way out, they meet Campanella, who puts up minimal resistance because he apparently has some plan of his own. He just is trying to gauge them. And then they leave. Chapter 7, their pod lands. Joshua says he has no place in Estelle's world and he must leave again because he's still brooding.
Very dark.
And then she chews him out and slaps him and tells him he has to stay, and so he has to stay.
You were right the whole time.
Yep, basically. Immediately admits defeat and decides she was right. They go to the Capitol. They reunite with the team. Olivier, who has been here the whole time, pipes up and is like, oh, sorry, guys, I have very important bard business in Arabonia. I got to go by. So he disappears. The team gets reports that the 4 ancient towers that Weissman was investigating in the first game have started glowing. So they visit the 4 towers, and each one has an enforcer at the top waiting for them. They learn that the towers are ancient and related to the Aureoli, the ancient powerful artifact known as a Septarian that contains the power of a god. So now we get to make Areola jokes again.
Woot.
I'm so excited.
They climb the 4th tower, and Ren is there. She is the enforcer on top of that one. Estelle tries to convince Ren to give up Ouroboros and come live a normal life as a child with her. Instead, Ren is angry that Estelle didn't join Ouroboros so they could play together. So then she gives some implications about her very, very, very dark backstory that don't get revealed till the third game. So I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
It's incredibly dark. Then she summons her giant robot to fight everybody.
Patermater?
And
Yeah.
then
Like you
yeah,
did.
Patermater. And despite climbing the towers, the team was too late. Weissman manages to get control of the Oriole and raises the ancient city of Liber Arc into the sky. Then he uses the Aureola to and his gospel artifact to disable all orbments everywhere in Liberal. So all the electricity is gone
I
everywhere
love
in the
getting
country.
control of the areola. My favorite.
It's a strategic place. You want it.
right.
Going back through this, I took like a 2-year break between chapter 6 and 7. And
Oh,
that's
Was
what
that all?
happened.
Only 2
Yeah.
years?
Well, I moved houses and then
Mhm.
That's
didn't pick
fair.
it up again.
Yeah.
The game's so long, you move in between chapters.
It's a long and this isn't even the longest game in the series. This is pretty short compared to some later games.
I'm not even shocked anymore. I'm just,
When you like Cold Steel 4, I think was 115 hours for me.
God
Ooh.
damn.
It's a rough one.
Let's see,
Anyway.
20 hours of fishing, 20 hours of cooking. You know, it adds up.
Okay, so yeah, I did do all of that. That's true.
There's a cool snowboarding game in one of them.
Yeah, Cold Steel 2 has a good snowboarding game. Yeah,
I saw a screenshot of that.
I did
I
that.
figured what the fuck's happening.
So, Chapter 8, Tita's grandfather invents a device that will provide power to orbments, but only a single orbment. And he manages to make 4 of them and tasks the team with taking them across the country to the Bracer Guild branches so that they can power up their phones so that they can at least communicate with each other. While the team is doing that, Ouroboros storms the capital out of boredom. Estelle and her friends aren't able to fend them off on their own, so they release Colonel Richard, the guy who did the coup in the first game, and he shows up to defend his country. He's no longer a bad guy because Ouroboros is the bigger bad guy, and he has decided that he will redeem himself.
Right.
All right,
And he
time
wants revenge for his brother Sanders.
Time out from your power reading here.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the point in the story where you lose your powers. We were talking about that last
Yeah.
episode.
Uh-huh.
It sucks real bad.
I wanted to ask you at this point, who is your main quartet?
I shuffled it, especially my most recent playthrough of the second, because I knew this scene would be coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I made sure to power level Estelle, Joshua, Shara, and Agate, because I knew all of them would be useful right here.
Fair enough. When I was
Or-
playing through it, it was Estelle, Joshua, I wanted to call her Monica for some reason, Chloe,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and Tita.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
It's
Monica,
better than
Rachel,
Olivier and
Joey,
Tita.
Ross.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like,
Rachel.
and fucking Estelle and Joshua are fine when they don't
Yeah.
have magic.
Right.
Fucking Chloe sucks.
Yeah, she is not very powerful.
No.
That's how you really
And
feel.
Tita is useless. She can't even use her gun.
Right. No. Well, yeah. No. By default, she always has to have the stupid charm on her. But
Yeah.
well, then the reason that she's in my group is because she's like a power healer, right? Like,
Yeah.
she can heal with like instant
Yeah.
heals.
Oh, yeah.
There's no delay, and it's such a like powerful mechanic within the game that I can't
And
not play as
suddenly,
her.
she's useless.
Yeah. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah,
The worst
this
part
is
of
a
the
real
game.
rough chapter. Yeah, I think they learned their lesson with how annoying this was because they have not done anything quite this annoying in any game since then.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's after you lose the first one, you have to like fight in the school or whatever. That was also
Uh-huh.
super annoying.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad that as you got fewer powers, you had to do less to
Right,
continue
yeah,
the story.
seriously.
That was kind of nice.
right. And then like right after you get rid of that fourth one, you're basically immediately put back in the situation where you have all your abilities again. So at least they don't leave you stranded for very long.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, Colonel Richard comes out, helps them kick out Ouroboros. Ouroboros leaves. The Royal Army gets word that the Imperial Army from Erebonia
Sorry,
is
I
now
gotta-
marching out their border.
I just
What's that?
remembered this. When Colonel Richard showed up and he's like, "I'm good now," I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, me too.
I completely forgot about him.
Yeah, I had managed to completely forget the first game by the time I got this far in the second game.
You did it.
Good job,
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I had to look up who he was and be like, oh right, that first game happened. Replaying it was much better because then I remembered. But no, that first time I did not at all remember who the fuck that guy was.
There's so many characters. All right, go ahead.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. And it gets absurd by the time you get to the later games in the series because they start bringing in characters from the earlier games in addition to all the new characters. It's a mess. You need flowcharts.
Awesome.
Ouroboros gets kicked out, but then you learn that the Erebonian army is marching on the border in addition to dealing with Ouroboros. So the Royal Army is going to investigate, and Estelle and her friends are like, well, we'll go with you. We got to figure out what's going on. And when they arrive, the Imperial Army is being led by Olivier, your former party member, who is actually Erebonian Prince Oliver the entire time.
Oh my god!
I wanted to talk to you about this too.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we were
played
talking
Cold
about
Steel first.
Yeah, I would play Cold Steel first, and I remember when we were talking about in the first chapter episode that I was like, I feel like there are some characters that I've met before, and the only one that I and you were like, yeah, but I'm not going to spoil that for you. I assume this is what you were thinking about at the time.
Yeah.
Because the only other character, like at the time, I was like, oh, well, maybe like I don't think that Blue Blanc had said I'm Phantom Thief B at that point.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I was assuming that that's who that was, and that's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
But now I'm like, who the fuck was Prince Oliver? Like, like I remember, like the blonde kid is like part of the royal family, right? From Cold
Which
Steel.
blonde kid? Yeah. Prince Oliver is part of the royal family. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one who gives them their airship in Cold Steel.
But he's like an adult at that point, right? I mean, I know what he is in this one, but
right.
His nephew or
his
grandchild, younger brother, that's who it is like your classmate or Reen's classmate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Prince Cedric. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Now
So,
I'm perfectly clear on who everyone is.
Yeah,
right. This is why I can talk about it and know that you're not going to be like, oh, you spoiled it for me.
Exactly. There's such a giant mess that by the time you catch up to it, you'll be like, oh, I kind of.
I gotta be honest. I don't remember even the name of the game anymore. I don't know where I am. I think I was born here and I'll die here. I think
You
is what
taste
happened.
metal.
All you know is that you're a little teapot.
So now Olivier is back. He says he has to defend his nation against whatever weapon the Liberlans are using to knock out the Orbments. And Estelle approaches him, and he drops his pretext and it's like, yeah, I know that you guys aren't actually responsible, but I have to save face for my country, and the Emperor needs to save face, and the Imperial Army needs to save face. I can't just let this fly. I have to at least make a showing that I am trying to protect my people. And so Cassius and Estelle convince Oliver to return home and tell the Emperor that they are working to resolve the problem and give them some time. So he gives them 3 days to restore all power to all of the region before the Empire will retaliate.
Plenty of time.
I like his buddy Xander that's just always annoyed as shit at him.
Mueller.
Mueller, that's his name. I don't know why I call him Xander.
Yeah.
Mueller. He's just always like, this fucking guy. God damn it. Why do I have to follow him around?
He's great in every scene, and he only becomes better once you realize that Olivier is a member of the royal family, and he still acts like that all the time.
Yeah.
That's great. I love him. So team uses they get all the Orbment powering devices delivered, and then they use the last one to power up their airship so that they can go to the floating city and pursue Weissman and reach the climax, which is when we get to the finale, final chapter. So they infiltrate the floating city. They fight the enforcers again. They kill off Walter and Luciola, maybe. And they try to talk some sense into Ren. Ren cries a bit, and then she flies off with the robot.
I like that this one paragraph skips like 2 hours of gameplay.
More than 2 hours, yeah. Also, we've not mentioned many of the characters.
We gotta fit it all in tonight.
Yeah, right, I'm trying to make this as condensed as possible, but yeah, I'm skipping so much.
Like in the floating city, like you get there and there's like 4 different regions, and you have to like manually connect them to each other.
Yeah.
And each of them has like a mini boss in it. before
Yeah,
you even
yeah.
get to this little boss rush thing.
And all kinds of story elements and background for characters. And like, we've not even mentioned Annalace's name, or
Oh, yeah. All the
Kanone,
senior
or-
bracers.
yeah, all these other people that are relatively important in the story, not mentioned because in the grand scheme, we have to skip it. There's not time for this.
Yeah, like Julia, right?
Yeah,
Captain
yeah.
Julia.
Yeah, the captain of the Royal Navy. Haven't mentioned her at all. She's a relatively important character. Not even getting a name drop.
Yeah, no. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So you fight Luve at the top of a big tower, and after
Oh, I
fighting
always
to
got- sorry, I like stopped
Yeah, yeah.
reading the notes for a minute. Was just listening to you talk.
yeah.
The whole time you were talking about Luve, I just called him Low.
Yeah, I did too until I played one of the games where it's pronounced and it is Luve.
Nice, good to know.
Yeah. Also, Walter is Valter.
Yeah, I caught that. Nice.
Yeah.
See, Tolkien had appendices that you could check the pronunciations.
Look,
made it a little easier.
Look, they had to translate 700,000 words. Did you also want them to write an appendix?
They could have tried harder. That's all I'm saying.
So you fight Luve, and then they fight to a standstill, and then Joshua insists on fighting him alone because as a whole team, you could only fight to a standstill. So him fighting alone is definitely going to be, that's what's going to make the difference. And then Joshua barely wins, sure. And Luve agrees to let them proceed to Weissman. And then Weissman attacks Luve for not fighting them to the death, and then exercises his hypnotic control over Joshua to force him to come to his side. Then Weissman reveals his evil plan. He's going to use the Oriole to manipulate reality. Joshua manages to break free from his control at the last second and attacks him. And it's revealed that on the way to the floating island, Kevin had recognized the physical mark of Weissman's control and had used his secret church magic to heal Joshua
His
and to
secret
prevent.
church magic.
He has
Yep.
secret church magics. And he saved Joshua preemptively so that when Weissman tried to take control, he couldn't because church magic.
Right, church magic, clearly. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Oh man,
so-
it was during this like fucking encounter that I like the very end of the game where I realized that the more you die on a fight, the easier the fight gets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you keep trying to retry, it makes it easier every time.
Oh man, once I figured that out, it was way better.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I kept
in
like
the-
trying to fight him, and then there's a bug, I guess, in the PC version on one of these fights where you can just continue if you lose the fight, right? I forget
Yeah.
which
Well,
fight it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's one of them, and I kept hitting the continue, and it would just start over, but on the same difficulty.
Oh, no.
So I think I did that fight like 10 times before I like started hitting retry, and it's a
Retry.
long fucking fight. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then on the later games, if you play on nightmare difficulty, it won't reduce the difficulty if you retry, unless you drop out of nightmare difficulty. Then it'll, but it won't let you ever go back to nightmare difficulty if you choose that.
Yeah, I'm not going to choose that. So
Yeah, it is a nightmare.
Nope, pass.
Yeah.
anyway, story.
So Weissman tries to claim the Oriole and is turned into a big monster with big shield. And Luve shows up and asks Weissman if he was involved in the tragedy at Hamel, which was his and Joshua's hometown where, the whole thing happened. And Weissman admits that he was, in fact, the person who hired those mercenaries who went there and killed all of their families. And he did so specifically to recruit these two kids for some reason.
Kids are just so useful in this situation.
Yeah, well, you need new assassins, and what are you going to do if you can't find children?
Who knows?
So Luve attacks him, and Luve dies in the process. Well, nearly dies in the process, but he does break Weissman's shield, so that the rest of the team can defeat him. And then when he's defeated, Weissman is separated from the Oriole and teleports away. Luve lies dying on the floor, gives a tearful farewell to Joshua. The floating town begins to collapse around them. Team evacuates, and it cuts away to Weissman making his escape. And then Kevin shows up with a crossbow loaded with a special bolt, and he shoots Weissman, and Weissman just tries to laugh it off and is like, "Oh, you think that's going to stop me?" But then Weissman turns into salt and dissolves.
So did you say it turns into salt?
Yeah.
Salt, yes.
Like a pillar of salt.
Yeah.
All right. Getting real
So-
fucking biblical in here, man.
Yep. You can find some documentation somewhere in the game if you hunt for it about a town north of Erebonia that a giant salt pail showed up out of nowhere, and anyone near it turned into salt and died. And the church took control of it because they felt it was too evil, and they quarantined the area. And apparently he turned it into a bolt for his crossbow to kill Weissman.
All right, then.
And then Campanella, the jester guy, shows up. He destroys the rest of the Weissman statue, takes Weissman's staff, and pieces out. And then everyone escapes the island except for Joshua and Stell can't make it to the airship in time.
Yay,
And so-
they die, right?
Well, they're falling to their death, and then the dragon shows up
Uh-huh.
and saves them in midair.
Uh-huh.
Ragnar.
Yeah, Ragnar the dragon. He shows
Uh-huh.
up, and then everybody lives happily ever after. And then Joshua and Estelle pledge to tour the world to find Ren and save her from Ouroboros. The
And
end.
they never made another one.
That's it. That's the last one. Yeah,
Never, ever.
certainly not 9 more games so far.
Oh, my God.
10. Sorry, 10 more games so far.
Oh, my God.
But that's that is the briefest that I could truncate this story.
I think you did pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you left a lot out, but like
A
I mean,
lot.
not
I
a
like
lot.
that guy
I
keeps
guess.
being like, well, you're leaving stuff out,
No,
man.
it is.
this
I left
is-
a lot out.
No, like you got all of the main story beats and everything that is pertinent to the main overarching story of this
Yeah.
like 9-part adventure that we're going to go through over the next 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But like all the like side crap and all the extraneous characters that do help like fill out the world and stuff.
Yeah. They're what
like
give it
you
all the
said,
flavor.
Yeah, they don't get a mention, right? Like it's
Right.
It's insane how much story there is in it, but
Yeah.
it's really good, right? Like, and I
Oh,
know
yeah.
we're kind of getting into like final thoughts with this, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Sure.
it's the story it's so big and complicated, and there are so many characters that add extra context and stuff, and like
Yeah.
like I liked Annalise, right? Like I think we talked
she's
about
great.
her for like half a second, but like
Yeah.
she's a great character,
Yeah.
but she has nothing to do with the overall story.
Right. she is there and she helps, but she has nothing to do with the story. She just happens to be there.
Every time she
it's-
shows up, there's this smile on my face.
Oh yeah, because she is just pure joy in a character. No, it's the overarching story is absurd and batshit insane and kind of weird and not even always great. Sometimes it's kind of phoned in, but there's all this tertiary stuff in the background, all these side stories and side characters and just world building and everything that makes it all feel so much more lived in and everything that makes it all worth getting to the end of all that, despite how absurdly long it is.
Yeah.
and-
you lose some context when you're doing the Cliff Notes
Yeah.
version.
Well, you lose all the joy that is just mixed into the middle of all this insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's what the lady mayor. I
The
forget,
Lady Mayor.
I forget what her
Oh.
name is.
Shit.
They got
I-
lady
I
mayors now.
I remember the name of her maid is Lila, but I don't remember
Yeah.
her name all of a sudden.
But their interactions are great, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's every town has its own story that you like uncover
Maybell.
while you're uncovering like the main story that's in the town.
Maybell
and-
is the mayor.
Yeah, there you go, Mayor Maybell.
Yeah.
Or what's it? You kind of talked about like the royal that gets kidnapped, but like him and his
Yeah.
like servant dude.
Yeah, Duke Doonan.
Yeah. Who like in the first game seems like a complete like inept sort of
Waste.
corrupt dude,
Yeah.
and then by the end of the second game he's like this honorable guy or whatnot. And
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. After he gets kidnapped, you learn that he's actually not just an entitled dick.
Yeah.
But that's the only side of him you saw before that.
Yeah, like for anybody that's listening and somehow made it through all the story and is like, well, maybe I'll play the game. Like, yeah, play the game.
I
There's
do
so
feel
much
bad
more.
I like cool, yes, awesome, but also, man, what a trip.
Yeah, the thing is that even knowing the big points of the story like this, all of the fun stuff, well, not all the fun stuff, but a lot of the fun stuff is all these secondary characters and their personality and their growth and everything. And it's what provides all of the real color in this game. And
Yeah.
and stripping all that out, it's still a story and it's still interesting, but it's it's losing so much of what makes it what it is.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what is not losing so much of what
God
makes
damn
it what it is
Uh-huh.
our Patreon at patreon.com/retrowarriors. You get read along and uncut. It's another fucking shit we got there.
Other
there's much
fucking
there.
shit.
And you
And we always remember when read along is, right?
we
I
never
definitely always remember read along.
never have forgotten it.
Not-
Collectively, as an entire group of 4 functioning adults, just literally didn't do it.
Hey, I remembered the next day.
I think
That
it worked
counts,
out
right?
because the makeup read along we did had more people in it than we've ever had.
That's true. We
So
had
I
like
don't know
7 people join us. That was very
What
exciting.
the hell happened? It
Right.
was fun. It was a good time. I
Right.
still need to edit that. I'm probably gonna edit that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then it'll go out on the 5th of July.
Yeah.
Anyway, we want to thank the following patrons for their kind donations, starting with Mark Meredith,
And Mr. Snrub,
Idiot Man.
Elson Raves,
Simon Sevchek,
Dink Cool.
Retro Video Game Zone Jason,
Babam 1,
Extreme Ass Taco.
and Zero Scroll Fernando Benavides. They all gave us money.
Yay.
And you also can give us money.
We
You can
won't
mail
stop
us
you.
cash in envelopes. We accept checks. We accept foreign currencies, gold. We accept also Patreon money. So any
We
of those,
accept Jeffrey dollars.
yeah, we don't accept Jeffrey dollars. Although
No, I'll
we-
accept
we,
Jeffrey dollars.
We looked up Jeffrey dollars on eBay, and I think the exchange rate of U.S. dollars to Jeffrey dollars is favorable. So if you've got Jeffrey dollars,
Yeah, we will take
Um,
those.
I might take, because I think you can sell a Jeffrey dollar for more than $1 US. So
You can spend them in DFW Airport.
Yeah, five
don't
Jeffrey
think you
dollars going
can.
for $25 right now.
how many?
5 Jeffrey dollars going for $25.
Yeah, we'll take fucking Jeffrey dollars. Send us that shit. That's an awesome exchange rate. Jeffrey's doing awesome right now.
But 10 Jeffrey dollars is only going for 15.
Fuck you and Bain Capital. Couldn't take him down for real, could you? No, I'm sad. I'm sad again. I'm sad about Toys R Us.
Oh, they're back.
Anyway,
They opened one up in a local mall.
Yeah, but is it just a shell of its former self, or
It's the size of a KB now, but it's still a Toys R Us.
Oh, well, I
Yeah,
gotta
there's
check
one
it
in
out.
Terminal C of DFW Airport.
Is
There's
I was
also
just
one at
there.
the
I didn't know
Galleria.
that. God damn it! I could have gone to a Toys R Us and been sad that it was a tiny little shitty baby store.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, Guy, thanks for filling in. Saturn,
thanks,
thanks
Guy.
for condensing 300 hours of video games into a digestible hour-and-a-half long format.
I didn't think I was going to do it.
You
But
did.
you did it.
You did. I think it's the most I've ever heard you talk in my life, and I've been
Yeah.
podcasting with you for 10 years.
It is, my throat hurts a little.
Well, thank you guys for allowing me the
Hopefully you enjoyed
freedom
your
to
vacation.
go on vacation. Yeah, not have to worry about it. All I have to do is panic in the basement of the royal governor's palace, and I'll have to be like,
That's
"Oh my
a normal
god!" But
thing.
also we got to do more Game Boy games. So that was,
Oh, we do have to do
That's
more
nice.
Game Boy games.
yeah. I'm not against that. I'm not against
No,
that.
tonight.
Oh shit. Okay. Gargoyles Quest.
We did that.
Did we do Gargoyles Quest?
I think we did the second one.
No, we
actually.
did the second one. We
Yeah.
did the second one. I'd know if we did Gargoyles Quest. I'd feel it down in my plums,
Yeah,
and I don't feel it.
and the cockles.
Anyway, we gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go insane. You guys, thanks for filling in. Thanks for
Yeah.
being here and doing the show. And Guy, thanks for staying up late
Yeah,
for
definitely.
us.
Thanks,
to,
Guy.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun.
It's not 1 a.m. yet.
It's not. We've actually somehow finished kind of early.
Yeah.
I don't know how that.
I tried to
happened.
talk as fast as I possibly
It was
could.
so fast.
It's because we started almost exactly at 8:30. Usually we dig around
That's
for
true.
almost an
Usually-
hour.
Yeah,
Around a
we
bit.
usually don't really get started till 9.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week, and as always,
Let us cling together.